Battle of the Challenges podcast with Vincent Cloud
and David Lauer.
Rivals 3, Episode 5 recap, which I am proud to say, or no, not proud. I'm just happy to say that this was the closest thing. This is about like a 90% full episode. Like, we have yet to actually see a beginning, middle, and end, meaning mission, deliberation, elimination, you know? This entire season, we have yet to see a complete episode, and we have this time, for the most part.
Yeah, we get to see the rest of the mission, and then we get to see an elimination, even though it's kind of a part 2 to the last episode. Yeah. But, like, this was a really strong episode. I liked it a lot. It was definitely a lot better than last week's.
Oh, yeah.
And anytime you don't have an elimination, it feels like a letdown. And this time we had one, and it was great. And I was like, oh, this seems like a pattern. Maybe we should repeat this. But I don't even expect it to.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, this was a nice, almost like a return to form or whatever. Get back to their roots. But I guess we have to start off in the middle of the episode, right? This is the conclusion of last episode with Tony and Camilla. You know, it ended with Camilla flying off the platform. I think they only got 2 platforms or something. She falls in the water, and then, like, everyone's like, oh my god, help her. And she's like, fucking help me.
Yeah, she's just laying on her back, acting like, oh, poor me. And then, I don't know, it seemed like she was fine. She's being a whiner, I guess.
Yeah. Oh my god.
She did say it was like the worst fall ever, but it was her worst reaction ever. But actually, she really hurt her arm.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I almost forget about it because...
So it was tough for her. But then, like, Sarah hit the water. She was fine.
Yeah, but there's no sense of Ashley having her arm hurt in this episode. I forgot that she hurt her arm.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, she's not like...
She didn't milk it, which was good.
Yeah, she didn't milk it.
Yeah, Camilla, I don't know. Kind of a fake injury, but...
So, this bleeds into afterwards. Tony and Camilla are standing on the beach, and they're soaking wet, and they have that interview or whatever. And Tony basically says, well, you should worry... I don't know. You should worry about how many people you're pissing off in the house or something like that. Instead, something... I don't really remember what they were arguing about.
Yeah, that was basically it. And Camilla's like, I'm not making people angry. You're the one who's starting stuff, and I'm trying to defend you. And it's like, well, you don't have to defend him. You can say stupid stuff. You don't have to jump into a fight with Amanda over it.
Yeah.
Like, the one with her and Nani, that was understandable because she was being attacked saying that she said certain stuff. Like, it was brought towards her. She didn't start it.
Mm.
But at a certain point in that, she should have stopped, but she didn't. And she just, like, kept being upset over it. It was just the point where it was like, okay, I don't feel sorry for you anymore.
Yeah, like, this is just painting Camilla as just kind of like this, I don't know, sense of entitlement that comes with veteran status. Camilla kind of has that this season.
And she's a bit of a drama queen.
Oh,
you add that in.
Yeah.
It's a perfect recipe.
Next is Bananas and Sarah. And once again, Bananas is like, you know what? It's going to be a challenge to repair the trust between us. Right?
Yeah, they always say like I don't know. I don't even buy it. I feel like they're just trying to act like they don't like each other, and they're just saying lines.
Okay.
It doesn't seem like they really are rivals. Bananas just kind of says these lines to kind of feed into it.
Okay.
Into a feud that's not really there.
Well, hopefully that is over with, because during this mission, Sarah, they get to 3/4 of the platforms or whatever. They do really well. But then Sarah overjumps the very last platform. She falls.
Yeah, you can tell they were going super fast in that last one. She said by the time she even was able to see it, it was gone. She was over it.
And a spoiler is that they come in second place. They do really, really well. So as soon as they perform together, afterwards, you know, they're doing the interview on the beach. And Benez like, I feel like, you know, what she did, any of these girls could have done. And Sarah's like, oh, come on. And he's like, no, I'm just joking, babe. You did a really good job. They hug. I felt that was really nice of Bananas to say, or whatever. And maybe all that bullshit, all that shit talking, all that, you know, hate, whether it be fake or not, is over with.
I hope
maybe
so.
They're going to work together now?
Yeah.
Because they got second place.
Just act friendly towards each other.
Yeah. And that's what Bananas always does. He makes sure to work with his partner because...
He did it with Camilla.
Yeah, Camilla,
Frank, he babied that crazy
Tyler.
girl that entire season.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like he's willing to put away the bullshit to get that money. All right, so next is Nelson and Amanda. what do they got to say? They have only one of 4 platforms. Eventually, I think Amanda just falls. Maybe reaches for it, but a little short.
Yeah, it seemed like she jumped a little bit late.
Yeah, a little bit late. But, 1/4. Not the worst, because there's other people that are going to be just as bad. Next is Wes and Nani. This is kind of troubling to me. Nani is like, I'm going to count this out. 1, 2, 3, jump, right?
Yeah.
They get to 1, 2, 3, and she says jump. Wes jumps. Nani stands there.
Wes heard her say 3 and then jump, and then he still paused like another quarter of a second or a half a second, like for her to 2, and then he just had to jump because it was. And it was like, what? I don't know why the hell she didn't jump. She didn't even know why. It was like, come on.
She froze, and that's, like I said, I mean, I don't know how to work on that. How do you work on someone's ability to get out of their head and just jump into the razor wire, as they say?
Even Camilla was more willing to jump.
Yeah. That caught my attention, not in a good way.
Yeah, and you've been critical of Nani as being a quality
partner.
Yeah,
so that didn't help Nani. You're not doing yourself any favors.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't feel like Wes is as good as he was in the past either, though.
Well, how is he going to be good in this situation? Remember, he won his heat with the soap challenge. Remember that?
He did.
Yeah.
But the soap, I don't know.
Oh, now challenge. It doesn't count because TJ said it doesn't count either. Is that what you're saying? Next is Johnny and Jessica. Beforehand, they have that interview, and Jessica is like saying, "Oh, well, I think I gained Johnny's trust, and he believes in me, and we have confidence." Blah blah blah. And Johnny has this sense of like, no, he's not. He's barely playing along. He says, "Yeah." Like, I don't know. I don't remember what he said.
Yeah, it was completely disinterested. It was funny.
And they get... Oh, they do the worst, actually. But the thing is that when they get to that first platform, Jessica's dangling. She's a shorter chick. Again, this challenge is so rude to the vertically challenged.
Yeah, but Simone, she still jumped, and she grabbed on, and she did well last episode.
Okay.
She's a short chick.
Right. So, but Jessica's hanging on. She's clinging on. Johnny is on the platform. He grabs her life preserver, but does not pull her in. That's all I have to say.
He didn't. He just grabbed her and held on. It was like, dude, just pull your arm towards you and pull her towards it. And he's like holding on to her, trying to make her do it. But he needed to help her out. But he was like, all right, I want you to do it. And he just kind of held on to her.
Yeah, he's asking her, like, can you do it? Can you do it? Not once, just like on instinct. Like,
just pull her towards you.
It's the indifference to his partner still. Remember in previous, like after they won, they were like, oh, we work together. And he's like, no, I'm not even going to buy her a drink at the bar. Remember all that shit?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Johnny's self-sabotaging himself.
I feel like he's limiting his potential a little bit. Like, he's holding back. But let's remember that Jess said beforehand that she has not done any training for this challenge. And that... She is like but she has done monkey bars at her grandpa's place or something, so she's gonna be really good at doing the monkey bars.
Yeah,
but she couldn't.
That is very disparaging.
And she said she hasn't been training at all.
Yeah,
that's not good.
That's not good at all. What the fuck?
This means you're unathletic. Like, I feel like Jenna, season 1, she didn't really work out. She wasn't that good. And then after that, she started to work out and get into shape, and Jenna's been really good ever since then.
Yeah.
Come on, Jess.
Yeah, it's a flaw. All right, so next and finally is Jamie and Kellyanne. They get 0-4 as well.
Basically, they were kind of just like flailing back and forth in front of it, but they were just doing it at the same time, so they couldn't get any momentum. They needed to synchronize themselves to move it forward.
And finally, Jamie gets on the platform, tries to pull Kellyanne. He's successful, but
he pulled so hard.
Yeah.
Pulled himself in.
She bumps him off. Like, it's crazy. So he goes flying. They are in the bottom 3. So in the end, first and second is Bananas and Sarah and Corey and Ashley. Corey and Ashley win. We do not get to see their performance this episode, so I kind of forgot that they actually did well. I'll be honest with you. So when they were announced the winner, I was like, hey, that's good. Kind of half-hearted or whatever. And the final last 3 is Johnny, Jessica, Dario, Nicole, Kellyanne, and Jamie. But it's Johnny and Jessica last 3rd episode in a row. Johnny, of course, is pissed, and he's not afraid to show it.
Like, Jess kind of just sucks as a partner, I think. And Johnny knows it, and he has no problem letting everyone else know it. And he's completely upset over his partner. And it's like, they were rivals, but like now, their rivalry is just only because he thinks she sucks, I feel like.
Yeah,
it's not any of the other stuff she's ever done.
He was supposed to help her on that particular mission. Had he pulled her in a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
Those are those
moments.
if
we're going to put some... I guess... Do we have to put blame on him? Is it completely, like, his fault for
They're
not helping
both
out
not working together at all. I mean, Jessica wants to, but she's not at 100%, you know?
They shouldn't have gotten last. He should have been able to pull her and get her on that platform, and he shouldn't be going in.
But again, this is favoring the more taller chicks, and Jessica isn't that tall. Mm-hmm. You know? So this is the second mission in a row that they got last. They got last with the soap, but I don't blame anyone for getting last. That's a bizarre fucking challenge.
Yeah.
Either you can... Yeah.
So, that was tough for anybody to win.
So back at the house, Corey and Thomas are talking to each other. Apparently, they went from the Four Horsemen of last season, the Alliance, to a full-blown friendship. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. This is cool. I like Corey. I like Thomas. I think it's cool that they're friends. I mean, I guess we didn't really know that because all we see in the house is drama all the time. Mm-hmm. So it was weird to say, oh, yeah, people are actually friends, too. And I'm sure everyone has friends, but we don't really see it all that much. You see some of their friend groups talking, some of the teammates talking, but not people, like, acknowledge those on screen. You'll just see, like, people kind of talking to each other.
But they're talking game. Corey's just saying, hey, I'm thinking about I'm going to ask Johnny who he's comfortable with.
Because they're friends, too.
Apparently. I didn't know that, though.
Yeah. Or at least, you know, he respects them enough. He likes them enough.
But it's a good move in terms of, like, if you want to keep some parties happy, well...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he knows that he knows that Jess is Johnny's partner, so he's probably not that threatened by the team.
Oh, right.
Where he's like, you know...
Yeah.
It's okay if we do a favor and, like, try and help them come back. He's okay with them coming back to the house.
Yeah.
He's not like, oh, we're going to try and put the best team against you to send you home.
And then he says... Nelson and Amanda, which makes sense.
Because they're the newbies.
Yeah. So Thomas is like, oh, great job. You thought this shit out. And he couldn't be happier. He takes off. So now we have our second power team dinner of the season. Corey and Ashley. Power team couple. And this one is way better than the Vince and Jenna one. This is more Game of Thrones, man.
It is.
Yeah.
It was cool. Like, Corey, I like Corey. I like Ashley. They both have personalities. We'll really see a lot more of Ashley's personality later, but like, but they're a likable team and they're both good. And like, they immediately say that. Like Corey's like, yeah, the people recognize that we're a strong team in this house.
So Corey says, you know, I like that they actually discuss this, just like Vince and Jenna. They actually discuss what's going to happen. There's no one trying to take the lead on this one. Corey says, hey Ashley, I want to put in Nelson and Amanda because they came in late. Makes sense. Prove yourself. And then Ashley says, you know what, if you weren't friends with Thomas, I would say that the best second pick would be Thomas and Simone. And Corey says, I can't do that. You know, obviously, you know, he's my best friend.
Like, you couldn't say Tom's name.
Yeah, I can't say his name. And it's great because Ashley's like, I like Tom as well. Ashley uses the same name, Tom. She is still kind of agreeing with him without bringing up the main thing.
She threw it on the table and it got denied. She's like, okay.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm going to keep playing this.
Yeah.
This hand isn't over.
Exactly.
And then she has another move she plays later to try and get her way.
So anyways, yeah, Corey says they're a weak team. But then Ashley says, you know what, Simone makes a lot of enemies. And Corey's like, yeah, exactly. Keep them here.
Didn't you say, like, that's the kind of cancer I want to keep in the house?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Which I'm surprised I kept that line and put it in the show.
Why is that?
Any kind of reference to cancer?
No.
Is that in poor taste?
No.
That's in poor taste.
Yeah. It's part of life, whether it touches the challenge or not.
Yeah, but
it's also a term used in the challenge. It's been used. CT was called a cancer.
Yeah.
In the house by Bananas.
Yeah, but that was 10 years ago. We're in the PC age now. Gotta be politically correct.
Okay. So what do you call it in the PC era? Dark spot on the X-ray or what?
No, it could be. It's, a lot of times it'll be more white colored.
Oh, is it?
Colored,
Okay,
yeah.
sorry.
It'll be more dense. It'll be more dense, and the lighter the color, the more dense the object in a radiograph.
Well, that's what you could say then. Dense. What are you, fucking dense? And you're like, oh, I am not a Cancer.
Dense.
Fuck you. How insensitive are you? Call me dense. But yeah, when Corey says, hey, I want them to stay here, let her bury herself. And Ashley's like, how she laughs. She's like, yeah, leave her to her own demise. I like this back and forth. I actually think that Ashley is entertaining when she's not drunk. I love this Ashley where she's clever. She has a back and forth with Corey, who we both love.
She's smart, and she's kind of witty.
Yeah, witty. So now I'm just like, oh, this is great. So I don't want her to be drinking too much. Yeah. But I do realize that I like her, though. Yeah, because she's finally sober. This really stood out to me.
At first, I was kind of soured on Ashley, because it was like, at first, the only reason we knew her is because she slept with Jamie. That was like the first thing we saw of them, and it was like, oh, she's just some drunk, slutty girl. Yeah. But there's a lot more to Ashley than just that.
Oh, yeah, and that's...
She's a strong competitor in this game, I feel like. She seems athletic, and she's definitely got a mind for politics. Like, she was trying to throw her weight around.
That's true. They're like, okay, well, it's definitely Amanda and Nelson. Yep. So let's bring in someone else for a possible second pick. But I feel like this was meant to strike up a deal. They bring in Wes and Nani. Wes is like, hey, let's strike a deal here where we'll both get very far. And the best thing is that no one is going to see it coming.
Yeah, okay. And so here's my first question. Did they know they were going to talk about this at this dinner? Why did Corey pick Wes and Nani to talk to? Was he considering striking up a deal prior? Do you feel like there was talks and then they made it official on camera? Because he didn't talk to anybody else. He's like, I want to talk to Wes and Nani.
I guess if you're going to make a deal, why not do it on the show? Mm-hmm. I feel like Corey's very aware of that he's on a show. He can play it up, just like Ashley can. So he aligns himself with Wes and Nani.
I think it's a good alliance.
Well, he saw how Bananas self-sabotaged his own so-called alliance last season. He must have learned something from that, right?
But I do feel like an alliance is only meant to get you to, like, the last 5 or 4 teams. Mm-hmm. Like, from there on out, it's every team for themselves. Like, right. You're not going to protect someone where it's, like, Sarah's and Banana. There's no reason. You're at the end. You're just trying to win at that point. The alliance was just to get through that first 3 quarters of the season.
And I feel like that's what Wes is saying in his own way, where he says, let's make a deal where we'll get as far as we can. But then Corey wants to cement it as saying, hey, how about this? You don't say my name, I won't say your name. And Wes is like, okay. And then Corey's like, do not fuck with me on this one. It was
so funny when he said that. I loved it.
And Nani's like, hey, listen. As long as I'm part of it, that will not happen. And I like the fact that Nani spoke up. You know, she let herself be known as like, hey, I'm also a big part.
I've dealt with Wes in his life before, and I'm not going to allow this shit to happen again because I've had to deal with it in the past.
And so Wes, though, he says a line that, I don't know. I think Corey shrugs it off, but he says, listen, I've never made a promise and not stuck with it. Ever.
Yep, I wrote all that down.
Which I think is technically a lie. Isn't it that?
I feel like it was. There was
Danny.
There was Danny. Then
I guess that's all you need, really.
But also Landon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Weren't they shaking hands on the golf as they're playing golf?
Yeah, that's sweet. On the links.
Yeah. It was the closest thing to like a Caddyshack themed episode of the challenge. It was cool that they were able to play like golf in their backyard. Yeah, they need to at least have a putting green in their backyard. Yeah. They just have a pool.
There was a little gopher that popped up like, I'm all right.
There's a landscaper, Bill Murray, shows up.
Yeah, the Dalai Lama. Something like that. So I got that going for me. And then Rodney Dangerfield's like, hey, everybody, we're all going to get laid.
He's going to drive his convertible out there under the tee off. Play some music for ya. Story of my life, no respect.
So, this unholy alliance, or no, it's great because they basically make a deal.
Yeah. Corey I think it's good for both teams. I think they're both strong teams.
I like both teams.
But for an alliance, I do like 3 teams more than 2. So, like, yeah, you have teams and you're going to work together. But it is better if you have a third team on your side, so that way you can really sway some stuff and kind of draw a line in the sand on who's on one side and who's on the other. Next, they call up Nate and Christina.
Yep, Nate and Christina. They don't say much. They're just like, hey, we don't want to go in, but whatever. And they say they're going in, correct?
Yeah. Like 2 seconds in, they're like, yeah, we're actually going to be sending you in.
Yeah, very to the point. Okay, and then back to the drama portion.
Yeah, we cut to Ashley, and she's talking to Camilla and Kellyanne. Just basically like how she hates Simone. How she wants...
It actually starts a little different. She's actually being a legit person. She's being a real person right now. She's like, hey, Jamie's actually acting really differently lately. You know, not mean, just different. And, you know, she's confronting her own partner, Kellyanne, which I felt like was really kind of like honest. Like she was really just asking.
She was just kind of reaching out.
Yeah. And then Camilla's there and she hears it and she's like, you know what, actually, I remember Simone came up to us and told Jamie and I that, like, hey, I think Ashley, you like her more than she likes you or something like that. Yeah.
It said something how, like,
Seed
you
of
can't
doubt.
trust Ashley.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Ashley's like, I'm going to talk to this bitch and shit. So Ashley's going to go from Game of Thrones to Trailer Park really quick. You know what I mean?
She does. She flips the switch.
Oh,
and
yeah.
She's just like, I'm going to confront her. And also, like, be reminded that they're the power couple and they get to pick 2 teams to go into the jungle.
Mm-hmm.
And she really wants Simone gone. So she kind of seems to use this as an opportunity. Like, hey, I'm going to start some shit. I'm just going to go down there, confront her, start a fight. And it's kind of just them, like, smiling and laughing at each other as they're yelling insults at each other. It wasn't, like, super gruesome from the get-go.
That's true. Well,
so it wasn't, like, super mean-spirited, which I liked. I appreciated that. Because it kind of sucks when people are super upset, like Camilla and Nani.
it is kind of mean.
Yeah.
I wrote some lines here, and some kind of, it made me side with Simone a little bit on this fight. It begins, it's overheard that Simone basically telling Ashley, listen, if you wanted a relationship with Jamie, it would have happened already. The basis of this fight is about the legitimacy of Ashley liking Jamie. That's this entire thing, but Ashley's going to mutate it and make it worse and just like, ugh, like talking about sex and shit. So Ashley just says, you know what, you're just jealous that I'm, you know, getting laid and I got a fucking dick that you can't get. That's what she said. She's like, I'm getting dick that you can't get. Just like Wes don't want to fuck you and shit like that. Which I'm like, holy fuck.
So she's turning the fact that she slept with someone, like, right away. She's turning that into the fact of, like, yeah, I'm fucking better than you. I got laid first. Like, it was a race, and she got to the finish line first.
Yeah, and she's, again, throwing in her face that Wes turned her down. Remember that?
Yeah.
Ashley's attacking Simone's pride right now, saying, you can't even get laid and shit like that. I mean, it's an awful yelling thing.
Yeah, she was really going after her. So, yeah, it was wrong of her to do that. Like, she was kind of, it is pretty mean-spirited.
And Simone is, what she says right now is the truth. She says, listen, again, this is about relationships. She says, you said that you didn't like Jamie like that. You would not date a police officer. You said that. So Simone, her comeback is real.
That's true.
But Ashley comes back with, you're trying to suck 3 different dicks in this house, and each dick will not let you suck them off. And I'm like, holy shit. And remember, the whole time,
She is good at talking trash.
trailer trash, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking Ashley's cooch is, like, blurred out. Do you notice that the entire time?
Oh, yeah, from, like, behind.
Yeah.
These are, like, ass cheeks.
Okay, well, not the cooch. But, okay, again, Simone comes back with some more fucking truth. She says, you're just making fun of me because I'm attracted to people. I'm human. You know, and that's when Ashley's like, yeah, you're attracted to people who aren't attracted to you. I feel like
She was kind of pulling a Laurel a little bit.
Yeah.
But Simone was cool at, like, just playing it off like she wasn't that insulted.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, if she was a sensitive person, like, if you were a sensitive person, you'd be, like, bawling at this point, crying. But Simone, she's just taking it in stride and kind of just, like, throwing back jabs the other way. And then, like, Ashley just keeps getting dirtier and meaner with it.
So anyways, Simone says, no, they just yell at each other back and forth. You're a slut. You're a slut. And shit like that.
But then we cut to bananas. It's like watching a bad episode of Jerry Springer. You know, he's just waiting for a doctor to come out with a pregnancy test and say, he's not the father. To me, like, yeah, this whole season has basically been an episode of Jerry Springer. Like, we just see, like, white trash yelling at each other. And it's more of the same right here.
Oh yeah, I mean,
so Bananas is saying that just to talk about this situation, but it was kind of the whole season was like that. So he kind of said something that kind of buried the last couple episodes. I feel like.
Oh yeah, that's not necessarily helping the show, right? The producer should have cut that, right?
Yeah, I would feel like it because I mean they're kind of shedding a spotlight on their own freaking mistakes.
So so Ashley and Simone, they're saying you're a slut, and then Ashley's making fun of Simone, fake crying, and saying like, "Oh, Wes is such a manipulator." So clearly Simone went to Ashley, where we didn't see, and say, Wes turned me down, and now Ashley's using that against Simone. Like, it's dirty fucking shit, man. It's crazy. And then Ashley says, "You know what? You know why you tore your asshole? Because you are a weak ass." Oh my god. So Simone says,
"That is a bad line. Like, come on."
Well, I mean, it clearly impressed some people, and producers felt to keep that. But you know what, Simone, I feel like she's just, I don't like her, but she's a cleaner fighter, maybe? You know what I mean? She says, "So vote me in, bitch."
Ashley's a little south side, yeah.
She says, "Vote me in, bitch, but you don't have the power," because we all know Corey runs your team.
And that was the best comeback of the whole fight, because it was 100% true, and Ashley really didn't have a comeback for it. She didn't. Because she knew that, like, Corey kind of has the power, but she's
gonna
she's trying, she's trying her best to, have some sway in that relationship.
Oh, yeah. Sway. Okay, so anyways, Ashley takes off. Thomas comes in and tries to talk to her and say, like, "Hey, man, like, I thought we were here to win some money, so why are you jeopardizing that?" and shit like that. So the next morning, Corey talks to Simone. It's like Simone, Jessica, and they're all doing their makeup in the mirror and shit like that. But Simone's saying, like, "Hey, listen, the reason why I'm arguing with Ashley is that Jamie's a good guy. A little creepy perhaps, but a good guy. And she's going to clown him on TV, I mean, I just feel like Simone has a true concern for it. She's like, I just don't like that. I don't think that should be done to people.
Yeah, she's saying how he's just a nice guy.
Yeah, it's authentic, I feel like. So, like, Corey takes that information. He's like, okay, well, it doesn't matter what my partner tries to do and say. She doesn't, I'm not going to do everything she says. So you're not going in. I'm going to go talk to my partner right now. So Simone, like, smiles and she's like, yes. So now Corey's talking to Ashley and she's like, I can't do this. I have to live in the same bedroom with her, which is messed up. Mm-hmm. That's like Bananas and Wes living in the same room. They don't do that. They're always in separate rooms.
So is there just, how many rooms are there? I feel like I've only seen a couple of them.
I have no idea.
We just always see the one with Jess in it because we always see Tony in her bed.
Not no more.
Yeah, not no more.
Yeah, no shit. But yeah, okay. And then Corey again says, "Yeah, but she's a cancer in this house, and I want to keep her in here." That's how fucked up this game is. Corey is playing game right now. It makes sense to keep her there. But Ashley's like, you know what? Get her the fuck out of my room. That should be your priority. That's what you need to do. Tell Tom to get his bitch on a leash. Corey's like, you can't control her. I can't control her. She comes back. She's like, by sending her in. Bye, bitch. That's control. Just get her out of the fucking house.
Ashley has done everything she can to get rid of Simone. She's just attacked her personally, and she's like... But the thing is Ashley does have a legit reason to want Simone gone, or has... Well, I don't know if she has a reason to other than the fact she doesn't like her, but she has cause to because she's half of a team. If she was just making the argument like, hey, this is a team. We get to pick two teams, so you pick one, I pick one. That's only fair. If she just played it normally like that and said it like in a responsible, respectful way, it'd be nice. But this is MTV, so she's just going balls to the wall and, attacking Simone in every way and causing all this drama. Just be like, see, this is not, we're firing gasoline.
Well, I mean, Corey says, he tries to calm her down. He says, you got to think the big picture. This is a long game. They will get out eventually. But what she does is she puts on the waterworks. She starts to cry. And she's like, so basically I have to live in hell just so you could live with your best friend. And she cries. She leaves. And Corey's like, Jesus Christ. Like, I have to choose between my best friend and my own teammate. Now... what we're about to see now during deliberations is that ultimately Corey believes in the game way more than emotion, like his emotional ties. I actually appreciate that because we're, like we want some new Bananas and some new West to show up that not only want to win, but want to run the political game.
Yeah.
As cold-hearted or calculated as it might seem, to win.
To make those right now, that's decisions.
What he's doing. And that's what he's doing. I mean, let's just say nominations comes in, Johnny Jessica's up there. They already nominate Nelson and Amanda, and now they end up throwing in Thomas and Simone instead of Christina and Nate. And Corey does say, "Hey, this is a team." And right now, he points to her. This is my priority, and she does that little kind of bitchy, I don't know, like smug smile.
It was like this acknowledgement of like mission accomplished.
Ashley says, "I pulled my womanly ways," and
she seemed the entire time. Like, she seems very confident, and Corey seems like he's nervous, and he doesn't want to say what he's going to say, because he knows what he's going to say. He's already made his choice. Like, yep, she gets a vote, too. When I was watching this, I really thought, he's going to say Christina and Nate. Like, that's his choice. Like, Tom is his friend. He's not going to do it. So I was still a little bit surprised he did.
I'm kind of glad that he did, because it shows that he is willing to make those cold-hearted decisions like Evelyn did, like Wes did, like Bananas, like Evan did, to get to the end. You know what I mean?
And he got second place last year. So he wants to get first now.
Yeah.
Like, he's all about focus on getting to the end. And Thomas, you're a good friend, but, move aside.
Okay, so right away, Simone and Amanda, they're talking about how her and Thomas weren't even friends to begin with, so... and his own friend betrayed him. I don't know what they're bitching about, but basically, Simone says, "I didn't think I was going to get voted in, but turns out Ashley has the power of the vajayjay to do the sway. And I actually thought of this. Now, Ashley said she cried and got her way, right?
Yeah.
But Simone's trying to say that no, she used the vagina to get her way.
Do we think something happened between... Do you think she seduced him? And this is going to be the shit you didn't see?
Remember on the soap bar, they were basically banging, and then you felt that he was
kind of flirting with her. I felt like there might be some
So this is very Game of Thrones. This is a team that are sleeping together, very incestual.
Ashley's moved on from Jamie. Jamie's giving her the shoulder, and she's like, "All right, I got a partner right over here already."
Very incestual. No other team is sleeping with each other.
Yeah, it's like Khaleesi and
Jamie and...
Well, the Targaryens would inbreed.
They would?
Yeah.
Well, we didn't see
Khaleesi hasn't done it yet.
Okay, well, I was going to go with the obvious Lannisters, I guess.
Yes, definitely.
But, but this is what... Another point that, it's Simone and Amanda. Remember, we all know Amanda. She's the girl that pops off all the time, won't back down. Mm-hmm. Simone says, you know what it is? She wants to put us both in there, separate us, because we are the biggest personalities, and she can't handle it. One less of us is better for her. Again, this is Simone and Amanda. They both know that they're getting camera time, and Ashley wants the camera time. That's what Simone's saying.
That is true.
It could be spot on.
I mean, they're both kind of drama teams. They're trying to, always get on screen.
Yeah, so it could be true. I mean, maybe Ashley, it just does bug her on a very existential level. I was like, no, I'm the center of attention. What the fuck are these two bitches
it's basically just a Mean Girls thing where it's like, no, I'm the best. No, I'm the best. And then their personalities are so similar that there can only be one of them. There's only room for one.
There could be only one, and there's 3 of them.
Who's the third? Nicole?
No, there's Amanda, Simone, and Ashley.
Amanda.
And then Camilla. Camilla's the other 4th person that just needs the fucking attention. I believe that, anyways. We saw her at the beginning of the episode throwing a big fit and shit like that.
That's true. I want to deny it. I'm trying to figure out a defense for Camilla.
Yeah,
I really wanted to like her this season.
I kind of soured on her on this episode.
It seemed like she was heading in the right direction, but then last episode and this episode, just kind of like one episode in itself. Yeah, I'm definitely Camilla. It's the same old Camilla.
Finally, we're at the jungle. Before the jungle starts, TJ says, as we all know, Brandy quit the game, and we're losing too many people. Well, let's bring in a team here. The replacements are going to come in here. It's Devin and Cheyenne. You like Devin, right?
Yeah, I like Devin. I was a big
Corey
fan.
likes Cheyenne, right?
He did.
Yeah.
And he's happy that she's back.
Vince and Jen are pissed and annoyed because they're like, wow, we're the guys that put you in. If you win, I wonder who you're gunning for.
That's true. I didn't even think of that. That's very true.
Yeah. I mean, how were they to guess that Devin and Cheyenne were going to win the Exile that we didn't know? We didn't get to watch online, apparently.
Yeah. At least give us a reason for why they came back.
Yeah.
They were eliminated fair and square.
Yeah.
They really shouldn't be back. They got eliminated.
Yeah.
I can understand if they brought back, like, Avery, because she went home because Leroy's back.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she didn't really get eliminated. And then, like, Brittany, at least have, a co-ed team. Fine. Whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Just put them together. They, their partners went home. Just put Brittany and Avery together. Let them be a team.
They did it on Battle of the X's 1, remember? Rachel and Anissa.
Oh,
remember
did
that?
they?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But anyways, Devin and Cheyenne come back. Once again, Wes is yet to get a second chance after being eliminated.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
He just,
Okay, so now it's time for the drawing of the skulls. I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
my eyes kind of glaze over. I'm like, I'm not too excited, but it is kind of cool because overall, Thomas draws white, Nelson draws white, but when Simone goes up, she's like looking just right at Ashley. Like,
Yeah.
Doesn't even look, grabs the skull and pulls it out. It's white.
I wish they would have had a camera angle with both of them on screen, but
Oh,
instead
that
we
would've
just
been awesome.
see Simone just
Yeah.
staring over to the side. But it's like, come on, get the camera guy over there so you can see both people.
Yeah, Simone's just staring at her, draws the skull. She's like, "What? Fuck you, bitch!" and shit like that, flipping her off. Ashley's just like laughing, just like
How do they set it up? Because both times it's been like the last person or like second to last person pulls it.
Yeah,
It's
that's
never
right.
the first
That's true.
person, and that would be anticlimactic. Like somehow they're moving that little skull around in there.
Okay, so Amanda has to draw the black skull. So now it's Nelson and Amanda. They have to go in. Explain this jungle, Dave. How does it work?
What's it called?
I don't think it was called anything. I don't
Oh,
remember.
it was called Wait for Me.
What? Oh, they
Yeah.
call everything "Wait for Me." Yeah.
I could see that. You basically you have the guy is hooked up with like a harness on attached to a rope, and then you have this maybe like 12-foot wall or something like a 15-foot wall, and if you run towards it on a pulley system, you're pulling your partner in the air, and you have to hold them up in the air so they can read the puzzle. Then they'll drop back down, put the puzzle piece in the puzzle grid.
Which is complex.
Yeah, it looks like a super tough puzzle.
Yeah.
Like looking at it, would be like, "Ooh, man, that'd be tough." There's all these weird different patterns and shapes, but they're all so detailed, and there's so many similar ones. Like my immediate thinking was like, "Oh, Jess. Jess is not very smart."
Aw.
I feel like Nelson and Amanda might win. Like that was my initial gut reaction.
Okay, but
And like I wrote it down as I was watching it. Like I paused the episode before I even saw it, and I'm like, Jess is struggling bad, or I'm like, she's not so bright. I wanted to put it in a polite way. I don't want to say she's stupid, but she's not the brightest.
all right, yeah, Bright is a little bit more playful on the mind and the ego of Jessica if she ever listens to this. So, but and then speaking of like we don't want to hurt her too much. Johnny says Jessica's not the lightest girl here.
This is completely unnecessary. Why is he bringing up her weight?
Because he's a dick. He's an asshole.
Like,
do we like him?
She
Yeah, but he's
doesn't
an
work
asshole.
out, but she does not in any way seem like a big girl or overweight at all. She seems very small to me. I've never thought of Jess as having any extra weight. We've seen her in a bikini before. She looks amazing.
I mean, she is thicker than most of the girls. Like, some of these girls are stick thin. She's got curves on her.
Yeah, but those girls are like the eating disorder girls. They look like, some of
right.
them are just so skinny where it's like it doesn't.
Yeah, maybe Johnny's not used to, lifting a real woman, huh? How about that?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, Marilyn Monroe, she was like Jessica's size, right?
She was
Like we
way
didn't
bigger than
realize that she was.
Jessica.
Yeah, Marilyn Monroe was like a big curvy chick, and nowadays, like, we still idolize her while all these little sticks walk around. Sticks with tits, I call them.
Yeah. I like some thicker thighs.
Yeah.
Am I the only
Well, I
one?
mean, I like it all.
can't.
So, anyways, they start off. Johnny is not giving Jessica any sense of like, "Hey, let's do this." He's not trying to talk her up this time. Remember, he did it last time.
Yeah,
He's
he
not
was at
doing
least
it now.
faking it.
Right.
And this time he's not faking it at all. He's just like kind of phoned it in. He's like, I don't like Jess. This sucks. We did horrible, and I'm super pissed about it. Like, at least before he at least had that, okay, I'm going to try, I'm going to fake it and be nice, I'm going to try and be a good partner.
And that worked for him. So it's just, I think it's on Johnny. He's not helping the situation. Jessica's trying. She just needs that help, and he's not helping. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that, whatever. But yeah, I guess to spoil it all, I mean, Nelson and Amanda did do really well. Amanda clearly is very good at this puzzle. Nelson is really strong.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, I don't get tired.
I like this team. They're really good. Amanda's super hot.
Yeah, yeah.
And she can do puzzles really well. She fucking rocked it. She would go up, she'd memorize it, and just put it together. And it was just seamless. She had no problem with it. And Nelson, he looks like one of the Wayans brothers. Like, he's awesome. And he's super fast and strong. Like, he was faster than Johnny when he was running to pull her up. Like, he's running full bore and he's just yanking it.
Yeah, that's true.
He's doing really good. This is a strong team. And, like, last episode, we were really dogging on the Argue the One. And everyone from Argue the One. And this episode, they really kind of came back and kind of showed that they were a little bit better. You know, they looked a lot better this episode. There wasn't like a million complaints like there was last episode.
So now, Johnny and Jessica, they lost. Jessica goes to Johnny. Johnny's sitting there in defeat. And she's like, you did awesome. He's like, Jessica, you are the last person I want to see right now. Get the fuck away from me. Like, go to the other side, please. He's just being completely serious.
Oh, yeah. It was awesome. He's so annoyed that he lost. Like, he hates to lose. And he knew, like, it was completely her fault. She couldn't do the puzzle. She, like, completely got annihilated by Amanda. Yeah, and the thing is, but he can't sugarcoat it. And, like, in this situation, I can understand.
You gotta be a team, though.
He was being a dick before, I think. But in this circumstance, I'm okay with him being mad.
I mean...
But he is such a sore loser.
Sometimes
it's really a poor sport.
Sometimes it is on one person, you know? It's... Like, if he had to be with the puzzle, maybe he would have struggled with it. Yeah. And Jessica, you know, I don't know what they would have her do instead.
And I know if it was me in that situation, I wouldn't be that upset. Like, I would have seen it coming a mile away. Like, Johnny knew this was coming. Jess is not a good partner. She was going to lose at some point. In all reality, he should just, well, it was nice to come out here for a week.
Basically says, we're leaving Rivals. You know, and they just stand there in awkward silence.
I felt so bad for Jess. Yeah. Like, she wants to be good at this. She really wants to win, but you know how they say, like, in fights, like, it's about who wants it more. I have always thought that is such a load of horseshit. It doesn't matter who wants it more, it matters who's better. Jess she's not better than anyone at these challenges. She's not good at it. So she wants it all she can, but it doesn't matter because she's not any good.
You know what? I thought she did really well in Free Agents. I thought she was like right up there, top 5 easily. I would almost say top 3.
What happened?
I don't know.
She's dropped off.
Yeah, she dropped off. But she did have a really good season. And I feel like you shouldn't just dismiss her like that because how many seasons have Camilla had a bad showcasing? You know what I mean? You have to take that into consideration with everyone else. I feel like, I don't know, just people like to fucking rip on Jess. Poor thing.
The thing is, the fact that Johnny rips on her so much, it kind of opens the floodgates for everyone to rip on her.
Perhaps.
Because there's a lot of people who end up losing and going off the show, but then their partner's at least nice about it, and you kind of just forget about it.
I mean, at least there goes a true rivalry. That's something to be said.
Yeah, that's true, because this season is called Rivals 3, and as much as it hasn't seemed rival-like, this episode, it actually showcased 2 people who didn't like each other. Yeah. And it was good because Jess was trying to be nice to Johnny and to try and coax out that nice guy somewhere, but he doesn't exist. He's not there.
So, poor Jess, not only does she fall, even though it wasn't her fault, and not only does Johnny say, get the fuck away from me, but now Tony is like, he doesn't care that she's gone because remember they were hooking up a little bit or whatever. And now he's like, let me just concentrate on the next batch of chicks or whatever. Yeah. So the producers didn't have to include that. That's just another dig at Jessica. I felt that was in poor taste. Plus,
Tony's just trying to get Tony screen time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, let's just remember that Tony has, 2 kids, for fuck's sake, right now, with 2 different chicks. But producers think that's...
If he wins, a lot of that's going to go to child support.
That's what they want to support. Yeah.
This is income. He's got to document this.
That's right. Holy shit. There's
Otherwise,
no way
the
to
IRS
deny
will be
it.
coming after him.
Yeah. That's going to be used against him. They're like, we have season 28 on burnt DVD to help prosecute him and child support, right?
Yeah.
Right. But, yeah, that's the end of the episode. I finally enjoyed an episode that I watched. I forgot to mention that it broke me when Devin and Cheyenne came back.
Yeah.
I mean, you were there when I watched it. I left the room. I was like, this is bullshit.
You were super upset. You wanted to see, like, Abram come back. Like, last season
I
it
did.
was cool because it was like, Abe, holy crap.
Right.
He's someone we know and he showed up. This
Yeah.
time it's like, wait, we've already seen them.
Yeah, I
They're
mean,
lost.
and I mentioned other reality shows when these little twists happen all the time, it gives the impression that producers have no idea what they're doing. They're flying off the seat of their pants. They're just like, do this. They're playing it by ear. I actually have way more faith in shows that stick to their guns, to their structure, and let it play out organically and naturally. You know?
Yeah, and I think the reason they did this is because the producers had so many episodes in mind. They had so many different challenges set up, and they looked at the numbers and they're like, we're short a team because Brandon and Brittany went home. We accommodated for Leroy going home already.
Yeah.
We need to have a team come back, and they had no one else. They're like, we'll just bring back the losing team. But that screws over the integrity of the game, because now we've just had Jess and Johnny go home. Well, they just sent somebody home and they came back. So now and this is the end of episode 5. We've only had 2 eliminations so far, and one of those eliminated teams is back. So really, in 5 episodes, we've seen 1 team go home from an elimination.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Only 1 team has gone home.
Jesus Christ.
I feel like this is why the challenge can never be considered like the 5th American sport. Because there are no rules. They make up the rules as they go along. There's no structure.
Yeah.
It's not like, okay, these are the rules, we're going to play inside this parameter. Instead, it's just a reality show, and then the eliminations and the challenges are just giving them something to do. And we'll sprinkle those in when we see fit. And
I mean, maybe dating back before Free Agents, I would have said, yeah, this could be America's 5th sport or whatever, because they stuck to their guns. They set a strategy, a design of the challenge, and they stuck with it, you know? But now they're just changing it every time. So, yeah, they probably lost that little shout-out from Bill Simmons. So, but, I don't know, do we have to add anything else?
do we want to talk about the preview for next week's episode?
I guess.
I mean, we saw a little bit of the mission, where, it was either birthday cake or birthday suit.
Kelly has big-ass tits.
Yeah, she was running, holding on to him. That was nice.
That's nice. What about the rest of the episode? I mean, the next
we saw
episode.
that there's like some kind of confrontation. It seemed like there was Thomas and Bananas yelling at each other.
Yeah.
And there was some scene of like Thomas being pushed by someone. It appeared to be Vince, from what I could tell.
Oh, his own cousin, Johnny's
So
cousin, defending him.
So it seemed like Vince did something stupid, and then Johnny is defending Vince against Thomas.
Oh shit.
And there's some drama and people yelling. It looks like an exciting episode. I'm looking forward to it.
As long as it's a full episode, I don't care.
I don't know that it will be. I hope it is.
And if someone gets in a fight and they get kicked out, we're gonna look at another team coming in.
Oh no, they
Johnny
can't
and
have any
Jessica.
more replacements, can they?
I don't know why,
They
but
too much. They can't do any more.
The challenge, like at first they played up the elimination. They're like, oh my god, you could leave on luck in Free Agents. Then on Battle Access 2, you could come back. On Bloodlines, you don't even have to compete to get eliminated. Now they're like, we ignore elimination. You know what I mean?
They've had every type of stance on elimination.
Yeah.
So now they've got another point where they're like, they don't matter anymore. So I mean, that returning team is lame, but like the episode as a whole, it was a really good episode, and I liked it.
Yeah, really great improvement over the season. I was like, oh, yeah, that's cool.
It's kind of revitalized me, and I'm looking forward to next week's episode as well.
Yeah, like, subscribe, comment, check out our channel. We cover other seasons. Battle of the Exes 2, The Duel, Gauntlet, Rivals 1 currently. This is Vincent Cloud.
This is David Lauer.
Peace out.